Well, if you made it this far, I'm really impressed because most students hardly ever go beyond 30% of a course. They just get a course or a book and leave it, hoping that one day they will get some free time, they will get back to it. But unfortunately, that day never comes. So I'm really impressed at your enthusiasm for learning, and I really hope you become a successful programmer. I hope you enjoyed this course, and in this lecture, I'm going to share with you some additional tips for your future. First, if you like this course, I would really appreciate if you take a second and leave a review for me. It would really help with my success on Udemy. Also, you can take a look at my profile on Udemy and see what other courses I have. One course that I highly recommend to you is Double Your Coding Speed with Visual Studio. In this course, I will share with you lots of tips to write code fast with less effort and less typing. And I continuously update this course with new materials. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to sell you something. I don't make a living off Udemy courses. In fact, to be very honest with you, what I get off Udemy is pretty much nothing compared to the time and effort I put in creating these courses. But I do it out of my passion because I love to connect with people like you and share my knowledge. I have a full-time job and I get pretty decent money, so I don't really need to make a living off Udemy and sell you something that you don't need. Okay, that aside, now that you have finished the advanced level of C#, what is next? Well, you have 3 paths ahead of you and the choice is purely your personal preference. You can choose to learn to build Windows Store apps, Windows desktop apps, or web apps. What's the difference? Windows Store apps are apps that you build and deploy to Windows Store. These apps can run on PCs, tablets, and phones. They use Windows Runtime, so you'll need to learn about Windows Runtime and Windows Store apps. If you want to build applications that run only on desktops, which is like traditional Windows applications, as a minimum, you need to learn about Windows Presentation Foundation or WPF and Entity Framework. Entity Framework is used for accessing the database. If you want to focus on building web applications, you need to learn ASP.NET MVC and Entity Framework. I'm actually planning on releasing courses on both these topics. So if you like my teaching style, make sure to look at my profile on Udemy and see if the courses are ready. You can also follow me on Twitter or subscribe to my YouTube channel to get updates. Now, my advice to you is to focus only on one of these platforms. Don't try to be jack of all trades. Each of these platforms has a completely different world and there's so much to learn. You will be a lot more successful if you're an expert in one of these areas as opposed to knowing a little bit of each. For example, if you know web applications really well, you can apply as a senior ASP.NET MVC developer and get a pretty good salary or contract. Your resume will stand out amongst others who know a little bit of MVC. But that's my personal opinion, the choice is yours. Which platform is better in terms of job market? Well, I don't really know, but I've been in the ASP.NET industry for 12 years and it's pretty good. There's always work for you. I'm guessing the job market for Windows desktop apps will eventually fade away and instead Windows Store apps get more shiny. Because I think that's the strategy that Microsoft has taken. But again, that's just my guess. I really have no idea about that market. I would say choose either between web apps or Windows Store apps, whichever you enjoy doing the most. If you're passionate about your work, you'll always be successful. So takeaway from this lecture is to take a look at my Double Your Coding Speed course and decide between Windows Store apps or web apps. In the next lecture, I will share with you some additional resources to help you irrespective of the path you will take.